scrappy friends. I am doing this fun layout for you today, and this is a special layout because this is my submission for the Hip Kit Design Team call that they are putting on, and that goes on until the 14th or the 15th. It's Tuesday. Right now I am just using some black watercolor and a pretty thin brush to make some ampersands in like a brush type of script. I did practice this ahead of time a little bit just because I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted them to look and if I could do it or not. And I liked the way that my practice ones turned out. These ones I don't think turned out as well, but they look very hand done. So I'm pleased with the way they turn out. Right now I am just taking some pink watercolor and doing some plus signs around them. I have been infatuated with plus signs. I'm not sure what it is about plus signs. Maybe it's just too much homeschooling with my kids. But I love the way that they look. They're just a really fun element for me to add. And now I'm just using some aqua. I tested that out because I wasn't sure if I really was gonna like that color of teal. It's a little bit more greener instead of blue, so I don't know. But when I tested it, I realized that I didn't mind it, so I'm also trying to count and try to make it a little bit even. As you can see, I went back to the pink to add a few more just to make it even. I tried to do more of an odd number around them, and as you can see I did 5. The one will be covered up. Now here's my picture, and I'm going to be doing a small mat around it, and I was trying to be aware of the fact that you could see the hearts on that cork paper, and that's from the Dear Lizzie documentary collection. I'm pretty much using mostly all of that collection except for the embellishments. I tie in some other stuff from a couple other places. I really love that black and white, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to use that or that cream with the teal like dot type marks. It's almost like a paintbrush or a pen like marks, and I really like that, but I wasn't sure with the cream how it was gonna look, and I realized when I cut it that it wasn't going to fit all the way across, and I really wanted it to be in a diagonal. So I'm going to use my ruler to just make a really rough edge. I didn't want it to be completely straight because I knew that with using this paintbrush grid, that black and white one from Dear Lizzie, that it already looks a little messy, and I thought that it would kind of bring to that feel of not being perfect, but also just, looking kind of fresh too. But I use that metal ruler because it gives a pretty clean edge, even though it still gives you that cut edge of being ripped. And I had the hardest time getting this to fit on there. I don't know why, because I used the paper as a guide. And as you can see, I covered one of the ampersands and it still wasn't straight, so I had to cut it. That's okay. But I don't mind, because then that's when I decided I'll just stick my photo there. And yeah, the ampersands aren't equal, but later on I'll fix that by putting another ampersand up on that strip. I wasn't really sure exactly how I was going to do that strip, so right now I'm just focusing on getting a nice cluster of layers. I love layers right now, and this collection is really fun for layering because of all the pops of color and the black and white. It really makes for a nice classic look with those colors, and I'm kind of playing with different ways that I can layer, just because if everything is all boxy, sometimes that works and sometimes that's what I like, but I really wanted it to have a little bit of interest. So I'm thinking about maybe making a different type of banner by putting 2 pieces together that are cut. And as you can see, I cut the one side and I realized it wasn't the right side that I needed it to be a banner. And I'm using that paper from Dear Lizzie. It's from the 6x6 pad, but it's from her new collection. And I love the color of it. It's this nice wash color, but it just was so light that at this point I'm not sure how I'm liking it. And I cut it really like at a low slope angle. I guess that's how you say it. So I decided I'm just going to recut another one, even though I hate to waste paper, but I'll use it again anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. And I like the way that looks better with the green stripes, even though they're completely different patterns. And then that's when I decide that I'm not really sure I like it sticking up at the top. So I'm trying to decide which side I want it to be on, because I really, in that picture, the way that my daughter was sitting, it really didn't matter which way the picture went, because it was taken from, I held my camera up and took a picture facing down. So it wasn't too big of a deal, like which way. And I'm realizing I like it with the banner off to the side, kind of almost open to that ampersand. So I'm going to stick to that and just commit, because sometimes you can flip it around like 10 million times and then you go right back to the first one or the second one you did, right? So sometimes I just have to commit. I have to tell myself, just do it, because I can always come back and change it. I have some old Heidi Swap some word stickers, and this gold, and I love the gold. So I decided to put that today on one of the ampersands and then just the arrow on the other one. I kind of like this, it makes those ampersands be like clusters, and even though it doesn't tie everything into that middle, it's not going to be, because that middle strip kind of floats a little bit, but because it goes from the one side to the other side, it really helps ground everything, I think. I have those Teresa Collins like stickers. They're black and white, and I really like how classic they look. So I thought that they worked really well on my photo. And my photo has a filter on it from like I think I used Pick Tap Go on that one. And I did a like more of a vintagey type of look on it, though my printer is running out of ink, so I think it made it a little bit more warm, but I'm going with it. Sometimes I find that those little mistakes are like fun mistakes, and it actually makes that, I think it ties in with some of the cream colored papers that are in that collection, so I kind of like it. I'm looking through tags because I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can do some tags up in that corner. I know that the Amy Tan line has quite a few tags in the pack, in the embellishment pack. And so I knew I had a pack of the Dear Lizzie tags, so I looked through those to see what colors. And I'm picking that craft one from Amy Tan, and then that blue, like, it's almost like a sprayed one. And I only use the top half because it's so large. Those ones were really large. I thought maybe about using that acetate piece, but I really didn't like the way it looks, so I just go with that heart, and I'll move that heart around a little bit more because I'm going to end up adding something else. And I'm just looking to see what stuff I think I can layer into my cluster, or what I could put around. And this is some point around here I decide, oh yeah, this is when I decide, hey, maybe I'll stick that card there up at the top and put something else in there, because I really wasn't sure what else I was going to do. And I'm at this point kind of deciding that I like that even as a title. Sometimes I'll just do that. I'll add a card that has a phrase on it and use it as a title. I didn't like both the loves on there, and I really liked that brush script love from the Dear Lizzie pack, ephemera pack. So I'm going to use that up there near that ampersand. I really like the way that looks. It kind of also ties in like the brush script that I did on my own. And that's one thing that I really like to do when I'm doing my layouts, is adding touches that kind of go along with paper or collection or a feel of a collection and make it my own. So by doing this kind of mixed media type stuff on my background, I'm creating something that is similar to the feel of a collection already, but that it just kind of makes it my own. And it makes, as a scrapbooker for me, it makes me feel better, and it makes it feel like my albums aren't completely the same as everybody else's. And I think sometimes as us creative people I think we like that. We like that little touch that just makes something feel like it's our own, but it still has that feel of what a designer already had. So as you've seen, I just added that ampersand and that black and white. And I think that paper was from last Dear Lizzie collection, if I am correct. Yeah, it was, because the other side had the typewriters on it. And I just used a die cut. Like, I have a die cutter, and I die cut that a while ago. So I added that. And I was going to add that watercolory orange one, and I think that was from the Dear Lizzie collection, but I didn't like the orange. It's more orange, and I thought it kind of clashed with some of the other colors that I have, because I have such bright, that aqua color and that pink color are so bright that I just thought it really clashed with it, and I didn't care for the way it looked, so I took it off. I don't think I end up putting anything in there. Oh, yeah, and I have these 7 paper vellum hearts, and I love them. They're so pretty. So I'm going to use one of those up at the top near that title. And the title reads, really, "We Are Better Together." I really like that Amy Tan, the black and that pink. I think really just is fun. And I have this other die cut word. And those are from Pink Fresh Studio, the embellishment kits that they have. They come with dies, which I really love because it helps build up my dies without spending a whole lot of money, and I get other stuff in with it that I can use. I thought about using another heart, and then I decided that I think it's just getting a little busy, and I didn't want to overpower it. So now I'm just going to... So at this point, I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to add some enamel dots, and I'm using colors that I've used on the page just to kind of help tie everything together. So I have some gold, I have pink and teal and some gray, and that'll help tie in with the black, even though I didn't use any black. But later after that, I will go and add some paint splatters. I used some gold paint, and then I used some Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and you'll see that in a minute. So I just want to since I'm finishing up, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that the stuff that I'm putting out inspires you guys to think about your collections maybe a little bit different, of ways that you can add your own touch to it and do it in your style. I mean, I know I like to add media just because I feel like that's one way that I can connect with these collections. But, if you like to make your own embellishments, and that's one way that you can put your own touch on it, do it that way. You have to do what you're strong at. Oh yeah, I forgot that I use that pink flare, Papermate flare to do my journaling in, and I really like the way that looks. It matches really well with the pink watercolor. Now, I did go a little bit crazy on these splatters. I think that maybe if I was going to redo this, that I would add a little less few, because I really wanted it to have a little bit more open space, a little bit more white. But I love the way how it turned out, and it is very similar to the stuff that I do. So I hope you guys go and check out Hip Kits, because they have a great kit club. And I also will see you guys later. Bye!